Hi everyone, this is Steve from MembershipSiteManiac.com, and this is the first module in how to build a fully functional membership site in 2 hours or less. And this is the Getting Started Before You Begin module, where I walk you through the various components that you're going to need to think about and to acquire in order to complete this tutorial. For those of you seeing this video for the first time and coming in through another channel like YouTube, this is a free tutorial that has several modules that walk you through the steps of building a complete membership site from concept to implementation and setting up your first product. It's 100% free. It is out on the website at membershipsitemaniac.com. Look for the tutorials tab and look for the tutorial, and then you can go through the modules. There's no sign up. It's not behind any kind of email list. It's just out there. Hopefully this will help you in some way. Now, the things that we're going to need to complete this is, obviously you should have an idea in your head going into this for a business idea. And we're not going to cover the actual what it takes to come up with the idea or how to pick up a niche. I'm going to go under the assumption that you already have that in mind. You've already researched it, and really what you're looking for is some help on how to actually implement and build out the site. So if you haven't got that idea in your head, you might want to just pause this, think about it, go out and research it, and come back to this tutorial a little bit later. You can also check out some ideas at membershipsitemaniac.com. So what you're going to need is a domain name. A domain name is something that's no more than just the URL that someone would click in and type into a browser to get to your website. We're also going to talk about website hosting. You're going to need a place where you can actually host your website and membership website. You're going to need a copy of WordPress, and the good news is almost all website hosting providers provide WordPress already as part of their hosting plans. And if you use a web host like HostGator, it's as simple as clicking a button and having it installed automatically. You need a membership management plugin, and we'll talk about that on the next slide as far as what that entails. But basically, this is everything that you need to protect your content, accept payment, and manage the various product levels or membership levels, and how to manage all your users, your members. And this is something that if you use WordPress, you can get a membership management plugin, and I'll recommend one on the next page, but it'll do all that for you, and it just really prevents anybody from going out there and stealing your content who hasn't paid for it. And it also is a great way to manage users, and we'll talk about that on the next slide. You'll need a PayPal account or some other form of accepting credit card payments, like a merchant account. I'm gonna, for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to stick with PayPal. That's what I use on my membership sites, and it's very, very simple. People can still use credit cards through PayPal, but you know, the downside is PayPal takes out a small percentage. Of course, so does the merchant account. And I really recommend PayPal account if you're just starting out, because merchant accounts can get very, very expensive. It can cost several $100s a year, and several $100s per year, with all the various fees and things that they tack on. And it can get quite costly just to accept credit cards. It's much simpler and easier to go through PayPal. Especially when you're starting out. Now, there is some benefits later down the road, but we won't get into that today. And then finally, you need to put together some content. This can be things like videos, audio, software, articles, white papers and reports, anything that you want to protect behind the membership site itself. And this tutorial does not cover that, creating content. The tutorial on the website is really about the technical aspects of creating the domain name, setting up your website hosting, installing WordPress, installing and configuring your management plugin, and integrating it with PayPal, and also doing any configuration settings you need to do things like send out member emails and stuff like that. So how much will this cost me? So what I did is I dropped off the business idea and the content, because those are things you'll do on your own, and looking at this purely from a how much will it cost to set up and create a membership site. And I think you'll be surprised. Domain names typically average around $12 per year. There is a module in the coming up on how to select a domain name and how to register a domain name. But $12 a year and is the minimum, that you'll probably pay, give or take a few dollars depending on who the registrar is. Website hosting runs around $70 to $120 per year, and I highly recommend HostGator. That's what I'll be using throughout this tutorial, and that's also where I got the $70 to $120 per year. That's for a shared hosting account, and that's really all you need as far as website hosting. WordPress itself is free, and if you choose HostGator, it's included with a one-click install, and WordPress is already included in the website hosting. The biggest expense you'll have is the membership site plugin itself, and this is where I highly recommend a product called Digital Access Pass, or DAP for short. And DAP is extremely well built, extremely easy to use, and the thing I like about it is it's a little bit more expensive than some competitors, but unlike the competitors, everything is included with Digital Access Pass. So if you want to do content dripping, where you slowly drip out content, Digital Access Pass already does that, whereas some other competitors, you have to buy add-ons. Also, Digital Access Pass has a built-in affiliate marketing plugin, so that you can have affiliates sell your memberships on your behalf. It has some very popular shopping cart plugins if you want to add a shopping cart. All this stuff is included that's extra everywhere else. And that $167 per month for a particular site is just a one-time cost. We'll cover that in more detail in a future module. And then finally, you'll need a PayPal account. And PayPal account is free. It doesn't cost anything. They make their money is when you receive your payment, they'll take a small percentage. I forget what it is, but it's somewhere around 2%, or maybe it's 2 or 3% of the sale, and it's a form of a PayPal fee. But they don't charge you unless you actually have somebody that sends you money. So that's the nice thing. So totally, that's about it. There's a couple other things we'll cover in some future modules, like buying premium plugins and what advantages that has. But at the very basic, you could get by with a free WordPress plugin, WordPress theme, and that would get you by. So to go through the rest of the tutorial, in order to follow along step by step, you'll need your domain name registered, you'll need website hosting, and you'll need a membership site plugin, and that's it. And the future modules will actually walk you through the steps of doing each one of these. It will walk you through the steps of how to actually configure it and set up your first project. And then by the end of approximately 2 hours of actual work time, you should have a membership site up and running. The only caveat to that is when you first register a domain name and set up your website hosting, you may have to wait a few hours or up to a day or two to actually have all those things configured and set up and propagated across the internet so that your site is visible. But in most cases, all of this can be done within a couple hours. So that's it. We'll talk to you next time, and be on the lookout for the next module where we'll talk about domain names.